How did tight squeeze start? Well, it started out just as something silly and funny, and then I guess I kind of got carried away with it. Um, Once I put it on YouTube, people started requesting things, and I was just down to have fun and entertain people. It made me start looking at the world a little bit differently. You know, I'd walk around and I would see little things and think, hey, I can fit through that. And then I'd film it and have a good time. It's all about having fun. So I'm told that the squeezing began long ago. Like when I was a little kid, I was weird.
When she was a little girl, she would cram into these smallest spaces. I've got pictures of her like in little corners and boxes and...
What can I say? I've been a squeezer pretty much all my life.
So this one time we were at my grandmother's house and we couldn't find her anywhere, and I was calling for her and couldn't find her. Go into the bathroom and she's crammed between the toilet and the wall, and there was seriously like that much space, and she's just like sitting there in this little corner, all crammed in, her whole body wedged in there. So this doesn't surprise me.
One of the things that inspired me is back in high school, I took a trip to New York, and at Ellis Island there was this yoga guy that was there doing funky things with his body for money, and that inspired me. And he was squeezing himself just into this tiny little glass box, and I was very impressed, but at the same time I thought to myself, you know, I can do stuff like that. So that's kind of where that stemmed from. Since then, I've been trying all kinds of weird things and just having fun with seeing how small of spaces that I can fit into.
There's this other thing that Chelsea used to do when she was little that was very helpful to me. I would forget my key to our house, and in the kitchen faced the backyard, and it had one of those pop-out windows in it with a tiny little side door, and I'm talking tiny, like maybe 6 inches wide, 7. And she was about 6 or 7 years old, and she would say, oh, I could get in there, really, I could do it. So she would have me lift her up and squeeze her feet first in so that she could land on the ledge of the kitchen window, and then she'd squeeze through the tiny little window and go out and open the door for me. So I feel sort of partially responsible for this craziness that she's doing as an adult. And she's not a young adult either. Do people know how old you are?
I don't know.
29, almost 30.
So by day, I'm a yoga teacher, and that gives me the advantage with the squeezes because the flexibility and the balance, but also breathing. Breathing is a huge component to being able to shove your body through a really small space. Most things I go through, I have to completely compress my lungs, like let out all the oxygen and fully deflate my sternum. So that I can get my rib cage through, and then same with the lower part of the body, just really emptying out the breath. And I would say I wouldn't recommend people to try something like this unless they feel very confident about their abilities. Yeah, don't try this at home, kids. Don't be weird like me. Don't do it.
She's been squeezing through tight spaces in interesting places. Will she fit or will she get stuck?